women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself. Oh, excuse me. But you know what? Time marches on. It ain't going to wait for you. So you better figure out how to cope with all of this. I have a pretty good collection of I call them my home therapy tools, home treatment tools. Um, and one of them is my set of cups. And this is one of my smaller ones. I really like these. And it's funny, a few years ago, I had posted something on social media about, hey, I just bought a cupping set. And this guy's like, oh my gosh, you need to quit wasting your time with that stupid. I don't remember what he called it, but he said, you need to go see a real doctor. I took great delight in telling him that my MD was the one who told me to buy a set of cups, which, by the way, is what I like about my doctor. She's very open minded and she knows that she doesn't have all of the answers. But oh, and by the way, I'm sorry I'm late. I was actually at another doctor's appointment. I went into the sleep clinic because my heart rate is elevated most nights when I'm sleeping, which obviously you're not getting very restorative sleep if your body's not relaxed. So that's why I'm late. And my new doctor knows my regular doctor, and it was funny where he was asking me all these questions. I'm like, oh well, yeah, I guess I do have that. Well, have you talked about this with your doctor? You know what? I guess I probably haven't. He's like, this came up like three times. He said, why? And I finally said, look, when you've been dealing with all this crazy chronic crap for as long as I have, you forget what you've told somebody and what you haven't. But anyway, he was a nice guy. We'll see what happens. Got to get some blood work done, always blood work. And then I'm doing some kind of home sleep study. I really hope I don't end up with one of those CPAP machines because I can't even wear a sleep mask. I have the weirdest, that's why I don't wear much jewelry. My fibromyalgia has left me with, I just get weird tactile. I don't like anything close. I certainly don't like it on my face. But anyway, I'll cross that bridge if I have to. Back to cupping. Sorry. Squirrel. I didn't sleep much last night, which I found kind of funny going to the sleep clinic today. But yeah, I'm a little all over the place. This information, by the way, is from clevelandclinic.org. Well, what is it? Well, it's a good grief, a traditional form of Chinese medicine, and it uses suction to draw blood and other fluids into very specific areas of your body. Why on earth would you want to do this? Well, it can be beneficial for arthritis, for rheumatoid arthritis, for high blood pressure. I found that interesting, although the article didn't say why, but it did say it could help high blood pressure, irritable bowel syndrome, carpal tunnel syndrome, migraines, headaches in general, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain. I use my cups primarily to deal with the pain in my legs, particularly my quads and my IT bands. How does it work? Well, this is the kind I use. Okay, first of all, there's three different kinds of cupping. There's dry cupping. There's what the article called running cupping, which is interesting because you suction it up, and it's not pleasant, and then you drag it. And what that does is it, of course, pulls the skin and the muscles apart, and it's really good for your fascia. Your fascia, by the way, is a connective tissue that is found literally throughout your entire body. Think of it kind of like the pith on an orange. That's kind of what your fascia is like, but it is literally everywhere, and it can get very adhered and distorted, and it just turns into a wadded up, knotted up mess. And yes, I know this because they deal with it. And cupping is actually a really good tool that you can use to help with that. There's also wet or bleeding cupping. Now, I've never done this, and I'll be honest, I have no interest in it because I'm squeamish and it's just gross to me. But I would certainly not don't try this at home. I would never do this at home. This would certainly be under or with a practitioner, but they poke a hole in you. Then they pull the vacuum up to draw blood actually out of your skin. I don't want my cups full of blood. That's gross to me. But that being said, I'm sure there's a good reason why a practitioner would choose to do that. The suction cup, when they vacuum it on it, this is the kind I have. You can get, I'm not going to get this one off. See how and even if you really just wiggle it around like that, that's actually really good for your fascia too. And it gives you these little lovely, that one, I wasn't on there long enough. Anyway, it gives you a little, you look like you've been attacked by a squid. But when you pull that blood and the other fluids up into that area, obviously you're stimulating the blood flow, which obviously is going to be beneficial. Um, it improves your blood flow. It increases your range of motion, which I thought was really interesting. It decreases muscle tightness, which is why I'm such a huge fan. I love my cups. Um, I haven't cupped in a while, but I used to cup 3 or 4 times a week. It reduces pain and inflammation. Well, I have chronic pain issues up to my freaking eyeballs. So, and you know, I could, I could take a lot more medication than I choose to. But here's the thing: my body is already struggling. I don't want to pack it full of a bunch of synthetic medicines that, I mean, there's just no way that's healthy. I This is just my opinion, and you know what they say about opinions. But I would far rather use a natural treatment like this instead of just trying to medicate this away. But it does improve your blood flow. It reduces pain, inflammation. I already said that. Um, there are English is my first language. I am so freaking tired, y'all. There are always a couple of risks. Everything in life is a risk. Obviously, you can bruise, but I found it interesting. The article said that the little red suction cup marks, they're not traditional bruising because it's not muscle involvement, it's just blood under your skin. Um, if you use the heated cups, I'm sure you guys have seen on TV and movies where they use the heated, they light something in the cup and then put it over your skin, and that's what they use for the vacuum. Well, obviously, if you're playing with fire, you can get burned. So be careful if that's what you guys just, if you're considering this kit, I can't show it to you because I actually use it as part of my tabletop to get my laptop up. But I've got, I don't know, probably 20 cups in there, and my little suction pump thing. And it has a little hose so that you can, at least in theory, reach your back and shoulders. I paid like $40 for it. It's a hell of a good deal, I thought. But you can get burns. It can make you tired. It can give you a headache. It can create muscle tension, and it can make you nauseous. Well, you know what? I have headaches, I have muscle tension, I have nausea pretty much all the time anyway. I'd rather have it if I'd have never noticed any of that from cupping, but I'd rather have it from doing something to help myself than just because I woke up in the morning. But that's all I have for today. I really shouldn't do visual aids because I can't stop playing with them. But I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon, and I will be back. Sorry, something really distracted me. Squirrel. I will be back Friday at 11 o'clock Alaska time. Y'all have a